Okay, we just started. Silver Flames.
Finally, we have arrived.
And I need you to know that within the first three chapters, I had already thrown this book across the room. Actually, it was probably my headphone because you guys know I don't do physical books. Most of the time I do audio. So my headphone went thrown across the floor.
Yes, I believe you. I fully believe you. I felt that way a few times myself.
And it's not because it's bad. It's because Nesta Archeron walked into our lives and immediately made us feel things we were not prepared for.
Listen, she does that. She does that to people. Like people, I know people who were very invested in the story, and then when they found out that this book was dedicated to Nesta Archeron, they dipped the fuck out. She does that. She does. She does that.
She
She has
does.
that effect on people.
And so I have complicated feelings about it, and it takes me a bit to love her character. And I appreciate who she is by the end. But it's like this book needs a, let's hold your bestie's hand through it because you're gonna get angry label.
Absolutely. That's exactly why we're here today. That's literally why we're here. That is the service Pickle Party provides. We are your hand holders, your ear holders, if you will, while we talk about this ratchet bitch and her
Oh,
journey.
inner circle drama. Cassian's being infuriated. Nesta's being Nesta. A sentient house that somehow has better emotional intelligence than every character in this book and loves smut. I love the house. Like, I really do just love the house.
Listen, it's like Disney's Smart House on crack without
Yes.
the evil intentions that
Mhm.
take us back a little bit. I would
It
kill for
has
that house.
Mouska tools.
Basically, basically, I would kill for that house. Like when they talk about their sheets being soaked after night sweats and night tears, I would love to be able to stand up and be like, "Can I get some fresh sheets, please?" And
Right.
just have a fresh bed waiting on me.
Mhm.
Like, wouldn't that be nice?
That would be
There's
nice.
just there's training montages with so much tension built in.
And a library full of priestesses that are traumatized, who are now some of my favorite characters.
Yes, yes, and it's that slow burn that actually feels like it may kill us.
It's going to kill us. And we're probably not going to survive this series, nor six or seven when it comes out. We're just going to put that on the record.
Just on the record, we need everybody to know. But we can't wait for Akatar 6. And this is the last one before that. So let's dive in. Bring on Nesta and all of her ratchet bitchiness.
Welcome to Pickle Party, where a menace gets a little naughty. Join the bride, it's book club time. Tropes and memes and feeling oh my.
All right, Brine Babes, welcome back. We're diving into Quarter Silver Flames, and we're only doing chapters 1 through 28 today. We're going to break this up into three pieces. So we're going to be talking about the House of Wind, the training, and the beginnings.
Yes, we're basically covering all of part one of the book today and a little bit into part two, not much, but it's going to cover the main setup of what's happening in this book and the exact journey that Nesta is about to go on, both spiritually, mentally, and romantically. There's a lot in store for Nesta in this book. There's a reason it's so big.
There's a healing arc that is disguised as a training montage.
Gonna be a montage.
It just
Emotionally healing montage.
the boys have been watching a lot of Pokemon lately, so they can only hear like the theme and the in the
My
back of my
children
head.
have not gotten into Pokemon, and
Oh,
I've never been so thankful
God,
yet. I
God
should
help
say
me if they
yet.
ever do. So we're gonna start with Nesta's rock bottom. We pick back up after Frost and Starlight. The war's over. Everyone's supposed to be healing, and Nesta's not. She's drinking, she's gambling, she's sleeping around, and she's doing it with Feyre and Rhys's money. And as one of your first episodes that you did of her drunk and saying, charge it to my brother-in-law's account, that's one of my favorite
Basically what
lines.
she was That's basically what she was doing. She was like, the Night Lord, he's my brother-in-law, he'll cover it, it's fine. And that fell very flat. For a while they kind of overlooked it, but she's just killing herself and she's doing it on their dime and they can't sit by and watch it anymore. And I get it. They're all at the rock bottom with her.
Mhm.
They have given her over a year at this point. It's been over a year, and they have given her a lot of time to come to the conclusions that she needed to come to on her own. And she was still too cowardly, honestly, to face them, which is a lot of it. She just kind of wanted to live in the self-loathing aspect,
Hmm.
because in dealing with the self-loathing and by just doing the self-destructive behavior, it's honestly easier than going on the discovery journey to healing.
Right. I think especially our generation, we're not used to the idea of therapy is helpful. We were raised in a generation where therapy was taboo and something was wrong with you that you had to go.
Right, right. Like our generation did not recognize the importance of therapy till adulthood.
Yes.
And even then, we can be very reticent to it. I'm very accepting of it. I love therapy. I live in
Yes.
various shades of it. I have
Hmm.
since I became a mother. But I think that for a lot of people, you're right. They were raised with the taboo that if you're in therapy, it's because you are like a psychopath, a sociopath, you have
Hmm.
some sort of mental disability, like
Right.
there is something quote unquote wrong with you, when the fact of the matter is everybody needs a therapist.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the issue, like that we run into, especially with like our friends and our family, because it's a very hard concept for our generation to wrap our head around until we've actually done it ourselves, or we've seen other people go through it and we've tried it then, or it's I don't know. It's just it's different now. And I love that the newer generations know it's okay and that you do need somebody to talk to that's non-biased and can heal you. And so I feel like Nesta's hesitation to this is maybe why, like I know Sarah J. Maas said that she was going through something herself at the time. And so it
Mhm.
was like her hitting rock bottom. And when they get to a part later on in the book, that was her rock bottom when she was writing it. Um,
Yeah,
and so I think maybe her being close to our age, she had that same kind of upbringing that therapy was not okay.
right. Well, and her coping mechanism is writing, right?
Yeah.
Like that's her outlet. That's her creative outlet is writing. So she shows and mirrored that growth and journey in Nesta.
Hmm.
And I admire that so much in her writing.
Hmm.
And the way she is able to blur the lines between reality and what is fiction, because it's
Hmm.
not an exact mimic of what she went through, but
No.
she was able to draw from her experiences to create a really complex character in Nesta. I mean, I
Yeah.
would say Nesta is probably the most complex character out of the characters.
And really, by the end of it,
Um,
she's the most relatable. Like you hate her, but we've
Absolutely.
all been there.
She's just so lost. I mean,
Hmm.
so lost. And the thing is, the services done to Nesta started in childhood by her mother.
Hmm.
Her mother did her no services at all, setting her up for a life of being spoiled, of being entitled, of not being prepared to take care of herself and depend on others to take care of herself. She was not prepared for anything.
No.
And felt so entitled that when her mother died and everything went to shit with the family finances, that instead of picking up, pulling up the big girl panties and saying, all right, it's time for me to do my part around here, she left it to her child sister, her little baby sister, her sister who she was like 6, 7 years older than. She just
Hmm.
left it to her
Yeah.
to take care of the family. Her anger starts down to the core with her mother
Hmm.
and the disservices done by her mother. I mean, truly, Nesta really is a true study in fucked up family dynamics
Yeah.
and
No.
what it can do to a person.
Hmm. So I can see where she's at of why. Now, you're angry when you're reading these chapters because you're tired of it. You're so sick of her nastiness and like the people, and I've been on the other end too, to where you're watching this person kill themselves slowly. You want to at one point just say, fuck it, I'm out, but you can't because you care about them. And so you keep
Right.
going back and you keep staying with them and you want to see them on the other end of that. And they do. Sometimes they don't, but
Well, and there are times when you just have to walk away. I know somebody, one of my closest friends, her closest friend that she grew up with,
mhm,
he was her best man in her wedding. He's her gay bestie. They were like brother and sister, like they had just the closest relationship, but he had a lot of problems with substance abuse
mhm,
and just would not clean himself up. And she had children.
mhm,
And I think he came over to her house just completely beyond fucked up one night after the kids had gone to bed, and she was like, you can't do this. You cannot show up at my house like this." And her husband was done. Her husband was over it. She had to literally cut him off because he would not get help. And she literally, it was the hardest thing she's ever had to do, but she cut him off.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "I'm not going to sit here and watch you kill yourself because you will not get yourself help." And she's just waiting for that day when she gets that phone call at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's spoken to him in years now, in at least a few years. But she had to because he was not going to help himself. And that is literally where Nesta has driven the entire family. The entire inner circle is at this point with her, including her one and only ally and everything, Amryn.
Yeah.
Amryn's done.
Well, you still have Cassian. Cassian's not going to give up on her. He volunteered to help her in training. And he goes over there in the beginning and is like, "You need to go see Feyre and
He's
Sam."
sent over as she's waking up from a one night stand with some Fey dude who is shitting himself when he realizes who is at the door for Nesta.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite parts at the beginning of the book. He's like, "Why don't you go tell the dude that he can use the door as he's climbing out the window?" Like he knew this guy was like shitty. He could smell the fear off this dude.
So
and it's glorious.
It is. And then she like pushes him away and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get some food. I'll be back."
Yeah, he's like, "Listen, just be ready by this time. I've given you like 2-hour notice." And she's insulted by that.
Yeah.
I would be like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
I would be more pissed if you came and got me 15 minutes before I was supposed to go.
She's insulted by everything though at this point.
She is. Everything sets her off. SJM does a really great job of setting you up to want to strangle Nesta at every possible turn. And then the minute you're at that point, she lets you know just a little bit more of why Nesta is the way she is, and you soften a teeny bit. But it's a slow journey of back and forth really through this entire book, because she'll make a lot of leeway, and then she gets mad, loses her temper, and does this one thing that just to hurt Feyre, and you're like, why? And that's, finally what leads her to having her big ultimate moment. I think what you were talking about earlier that SJM was saying was her moment.
Her rock bottom.
Of where she finally, I guess, has her own look in her own Ouroboros mirror, if you will, and accepts herself. That's kind of basically what happens. But she does it with Cassian instead. And even after that, she's still stubborn about admitting whether they're mates or not. It just cracks me up. Like, she's so infuriating. Like, she gives you an inch and then falls back 10 miles. It's like, damn it, Nesta. Like, you just had this amazing moment with Cassian, this huge breakthrough, but you still won't admit he's your mate.
Right.
Come on, bro. Oh, my God.
So we're at
the world's most annoying frat bro.
We're at this intervention, and they tell her she's cut off and that she's got to go to the House of Wind and she's going to train. And this is her life, whether she likes it or not. This is how and
like legit intervention, guys. Like,
yeah,
if you've ever watched How I Met Your Mother, I want you to picture the intervention episode where they have the big banner and they are doing interventions about all the stupid shit that annoy each other that the others do, like Lily's bad British accent and Marshall wearing the ridiculous like giant hat and shit like that, Barney and his magic, things like that. That's what I want you guys to picture. There's big intervention sign, intervention, when she walks in, right? But they tell her, they're like, "Listen, we're genuinely, we are done watching you kill yourself." And it's everybody's there, guys. This is like not a secret. They're all there to be like, "Yeah, no, you kind of suck and we're tired of this."
Yeah.
And
but we care about you. Like, that's the part, is like
you find out that morning, Rhys got a bill for like 500 gold marks or something from one of the local bars. And that wasn't the first time that happened, but it was the last time it was going to happen. And he was just over it. It's not the money. They have loads and loads of money to spare, but it's literally the fact that Nesta is using this money to kill herself.
Yes.
She's drinking herself to death, and she's sleeping with anything that walks, and she's not doing anything with her life. She's literally so depressed. They're not sure what's going to happen. So they say, "You're cut off. You're living in the House of Wind." And she's like, "You can't tell me where to live." And they're like, "Oh, no, we can. Like, your apartment, we had your building condemned." Because it was like the slumlord. There was like the one building in Valeris that needed to be condemned. They're like, "We've had your building condemned. It's going to be torn down and rebuilt into a shelter for misplaced families from the attacks from Highburn this past year. We are sending you to the House of Wind. And here's the thing about the House of Wind, guys. There's only one way to get up there, and that's flying. Sorry, there's two ways, but the only realistic way is flying, because the other way is 10,000 steps.
Yep.
10,000 steps up to the House of Wind and down. Now, you think for a Fae, probably not a big deal. And you're right, not for a Fae who's in shape. But Nesta ain't in shape. And she has never trained. So basically, they're trapping her up at the House of Winds with no way to get down to town unless somebody with wings or the ability to winnow comes to get her.
Right.
She is to train in the morning, no alcohol at all. And she is to work in the library. Remember, there's a library up at the House of Wind where the traumatized priestesses live and work. She is to work in the library, shelving books, pulling books. And I don't know how many of you like volunteered at your kids' school shelving books. I just stopped doing it. All the bending and standing, I kept getting lightheaded. Like I was literally getting so dizzy throughout the day that I had to stop volunteering in the library at school. It's a pain in the ass.
Let's say thank you to all our librarians.
Oh, dude. Absolutely. Hug a librarian, y'all.
Hashtag hug a librarian.
Which is funny because librarians are probably like anti-hug people. Like a lot of them are like, please don't touch me. I chose a job where I am with books. Like, I don't touch me. Ew. People, ew.
Okay, so she's in this House of Wind. She's isolated, and she's having to like start to look at herself. Although the house
And she has no choice. Elaine has packed her shit and moved it up to the House of Wind before the meeting's over.
Yes.
Elaine was the only one not at the meeting, and it was because literally she was packing Nesta's 5 items at her condemned apartment and moving them up to the House of Wind. And like, she has no choice.
No. Luckily, the house does have a plethora of smutty books. So they're giving her something to do. She's not just staring at the wall. In the beginning, she's asking for wine and it won't give it to her, which is kind of funny.
And she realizes the house has been told, do not give her wine.
But she's able to, start to reflect and have that time to do so. It doesn't make it better yet. And then she starts training.
Yes. Well, and getting her to train was not easy. First of all, she has a lot of feelings about training because they want her to train up at Windhaven, which is an Illyrian camp. And it's full of sexist, awful people. It's miserable. It's not a great area. And she is just completely turned off by training there in front of these horrible sexist bastards. And she showed up for training, which she was told she had to do.
Yeah.
But you can lead a horse to water all day. You can't make them drink. And so for the first week, she refuses to train. She just sits there while Cassian trains.
But this is what pissed me off because that belittled him so much in front of those people.
So much in front of Devlin and the other Illyrian warriors. It was not great. And he showed some vulnerability with her by putting out his hand and being like, please come train with me. He used his manners.
Yeah.
And everything. And she was still a ratchet bitch about
it. Yeah, she was.
And she was still awful. And even in she's having an inner battle the whole time. She knows she's being a bitch. It's like I try to explain to my husband when I'm PMSing and I'm just being horrible. I have these moments where I can see, I come out of my own body and I can look down and be like, wow, you are being horrible. Do I stop it? No. I recognize it though. I absolutely do. And Nesta is doing the same exact thing in this moment. As she's being horrible, as her body is doing one thing, her mind and her heart are telling her to do others.
Yes.
They're saying, oh my God, he is giving you a hand. Show him. Right. Stop being so mean to him. You love him. Stop this. But her body just won't listen. Her body is that proud. It will not listen to the rest of her.
No.
And it's very infuriating. Because there is a part of her inside who understands she is being just awful, but it's she's trapped by pride. I mean, really, it's pride.
Mm-hmm. But she does eventually, but she doesn't want to eat. Once she finally does, He's like, you're gonna want to eat more. It's gonna suck. And she's like not wanting to eat the food and she doesn't care. And Cassian basically is like, fine, you're the one here. It's your body. You enjoy that aching later on because you're not gonna get another meal till lunchtime. So she begrudgingly eats her food and she's starting to put on a little bit of weight just because of that, because she wasn't eating prior. She was just drinking and killing herself. So now she's starting slight training and it's hard. It's not fucking easy. Like, and she's having a problem like processing how difficult it is. And then she's working in the House of Gwen. And then this is when you walk into meeting this wonderful gem of a character.
Yes, Gwen is all the sorts of precious. And I think maybe it was last book or yeah, it was when we were talking about Frost and Starlight. We were like wondering if Az had been part of Gwen's rescue, and he was. They answered that in the beginning of Silver Flame because after meeting Gwen and finding out that she was a priestess at Sangraval and also respecting her enough not to ask the trauma that she endured or what happened to her, Nesta, when she's having a moment with Cassian after training, he's like stretching her out because she's sore. And she asks him, she says, what happened to the priestesses at Sangraval? Like, are they all here? Where are they? And he's like, well, they're spread out. I didn't realize there were any here. What happened? You know, and she was like, well, I met one and we talked for a minute. And he tells her, more brought Gwen here, but Az arrived first. So Az did, in fact, find Gwen before anybody else did. Moore was just the one, of course, like Moore does. She steps in and takes care of the traumatized woman and takes her to shelter, basically, brings her to the priestesses.
And they have like this like moment together when they're in the library and the darkness has found Nesta. And she's like goes to like. And Nesta's scared, but almost curious of what that is. And we know Bryaxis is gone. Bend and Snap lady, I don't know where she's at the moment, but
they almost suggest that even though Bryaxis is gone, she left a little piece of her behind to help protect. So it's almost like she left a puppy behind to protect, but they described it more of a cat. She left behind a kitty, I should say, to roam around and protect.
Interesting because you remember in Crescent City who turns into a cat?
I caught that too. I've caught a lot since that crossover has started. The Meryl, the research that Meryl is doing that Gwen talks about in this section, the parallel universes and all the obsession with that, and how some people think there might even be up to 26. That's all talked about in Crescent City. And stuff. So I thought that was really cool. I liked that crossover.
So I don't know. I can't wait till 6 and 7 just to see what's going to happen with that. But
I know. Well, and now we're getting a fourth Crescent City book too.
I know. I'm so excited. And guys, next season we are going to dive into some Crescent City. I cannot.
Yeah, we are. We have to.
So, but they also talk about the third death god. And it's something with a C, and I cannot remember his name. Do you have it off the top of your head?
Kosick?
Yes, thank you. And so they're talking about him and how he's trapped in a lake, basically. That's how they're holding him.
I can't, it's like Kosick or Kosage. Sorry, I can't remember, but yeah.
And so Nest is extremely curious about this and how it's like, is this like tied with her with the cauldron? How are these dark forces coming to her? Why are they calling to her? Like, what does she have?
And you find out that death god Kosick can kind of communicate on the wind or like in the air to people. He can like communicate with them without leaving his imprisoned lake area. I know it's a lake, but in my mind I picture a swamp. Like a lake area. Like he's imprisoned there. He can't leave that area, but he can communicate with people. And he's been communicating with Brialyn, who is the biatch who's mad about losing her youth to the cauldron.
Yes. But the funny part is though, when this part happens in the library, like Gwen's freaked out. She's like, I think you need to have somebody take over your duties. But then you have Nesta that's like, do I? maybe I should just check this out more.
Yeah, Gwen's there to anchor.
Yeah.
Another Crescent City reference.
Mhm.
Gwen's there to actually anchor Nesta and keep her from doing something stupid. Like Gwen's the one who pulls her away, and she pulls out a siphon, much like Az's, and uses the siphon through magic provided to her by the mother
Mhm.
to kind of keep away whatever was following them. And she tells Nesta when they get to a higher level, like, I think you should probably steer clear of the lower levels. Like,
Yeah.
say, 5 and higher, maybe.
Yeah.
And then has to leave to go back to her supervisor, Meryl, who's not great.
No, she's not. So
She's
Nessa's
not great.
doing this training. She has an amazing idea. I think these priestesses could benefit from doing the training. So she basically goes and asks the boss, "Can I put this, sign up sheet up?" And does
Yeah,
so.
very like high school bulletin board. She like does a like sign up to train with me and Cass. Like I would love
It
to know
has a
actually how it,
little cheerleader on it.
right? Like tryouts. I would love to know what she put on that sign that she puts up by Clotho. Like, who wants to
It's
train? Like,
probably
you ready
like
to kick butt? I bet you are. Like, you know what I mean? You learn in college and you want to drag him in. You have to have a good grab hooker. You got to have that
yeah.
hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Pull him in. I would love to know what she put on her sign up sheet.
But she looks for days and nobody signs up. And she's
Weeks.
almost giving up. Giving up. And like
And
Cassian's like,
it's hurting
it's
her
okay.
heart. She
Yeah.
she really wants someone. She feels like she's failing because she's finally seen a purpose. She sees these women feeling trapped, not just because they're trauma, but because they know what evil is out there and what they cannot do to defend themselves.
Yep.
And she wants to give these women something that no money could buy, and that's a sense of security again.
Yeah.
A sense of self again, a sense of I can walk to my car without having to have my keys digging out of my knuckles in case somebody comes to attack me.
Right.
I can, sleep comfortably alone in my apartment without having to have, something wedged under the doorknob to keep somebody from trying to break down the door. Like, she wants to give them, honestly, something that really none of us have in the real world. I mean, she wants to give them a sense of, self again, a sense of security. And, this isn't a time when guns are a thing, guys. Like they have daggers and knives, but if you're going to fight somebody off, you're going to do it by hand. And she wants to teach them how to defend themselves. And it's actually a very beautiful thing. And it's the beginning of her amazing redemption throughout this book.
And Cassian's seeing this and he's so proud of her for
he's on board. He's all for it. He's like the teacher sponsor of her little school club.
Yes. Okay.
So Nesta is disappointed. Nobody's signing up. And she's bummed. She doesn't know what to do. And throughout this time, she has been testing herself on the stairs of the House of Wind. And she's making it further and further before having to come back up. She's getting down to 1,000 and then having to walk those 1,000 back up.
Yeah.
Down to 2. And on one of the nights where she's walking the steps and she's in her own head and she's mad about the fact that nobody's signing up, she realizes that she has to show them what she's doing and how this breathing and the coping mechanisms she's learning through this training is helping her feel sense of security again. And so she starts when she's working in the libraries in the afternoon, practicing.
Right.
I don't think it's a big deal, but it bothers Clotho, who is the head priestess.
Yes.
And after asking Nesta to stop with the punching and the kicking and the whatnot while she's shelving books, and Nesta ignoring her, Clotho finally calls down Cassian and explains what's going on. Like, she's distracting everybody. And he's like, okay, I'll go talk to her. So he goes to talk to her. And as he's chatting with her, he tells her, as he's watching her, he's like, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
You're dropping your elbow. And she's like, I am not. And he's like, you are. She was like, show me what I'm doing. And he walks her through punches and steps. And before they know it, there are several priestesses like looking down on higher levels, watching them.
Yeah.
And by the end of that day, Gwen's name is on the paper because Nesta was able to show them exactly the type of guidance they'll be getting without Cassian yelling and brooding. And just, she showed them how gentle Cassian is
Yes. Which
and how
makes
she knows Cassian would die before he ever put them in a position that made them feel uncomfortable.
well, and that's another part that she's like, I can't believe how traumatized these women have to be that they are scared of him.
Yeah.
Like, of all the Lyrians, him.
And it's not even that they're scared of him, they're scared of
Men in
men,
general. Yeah.
period. They understand. And Gwen even says when she is initially invited, she says, no, I don't think I want to do that. And Nesta says, why? Is it Cassian? Because he's not. And she's like, oh, no. Cassian is a very honorable man. Like she says, oh, no. Cassian's
Mhm.
wonderful, honorable man. I don't ever plan on leaving it. Like she's kind of okay staying trapped. And Nesta doesn't like that because
Yeah.
there's a lot Gwen has to offer. And Nesta can see that. And she wants Gwen to be able to live to her fullest, abilities.
Nesta
And
doesn't want her to be trapped like she is herself.
100%, 100%. And I think instead of facing her own demons, it's easier for her to help Gwen face hers.
Yep. That
And
makes
but
sense.
by doing that, she is working on her own self-healing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Nesta is finally showing more love for someone other than herself and Elaine. Okay, real talk. What if your morning coffee actually did something for you beyond just keeping you alive?
That's exactly why we're obsessed with Javi Coffee. They make protein coffee, so you're hitting the protein goals before you've even put on real pants.
If you're an iced coffee girly, grab their protein coffees. Hot coffee, more your thing. Their protein creamer drops right in, and the flavor's absolutely delicious.
The link is right below this episode. Click it and use our code for 15% off. Go get your protein, babes. Just click the link below.
Just do the link.
So Gwen shows up and she cracks me up that she's in like these like priestess robes. She's gonna train in. She's like, it's fine. Although I see like Star Wars robes, so I feel like it's
That's
still
100% what I pictured. Like she looks straight up like Obi-Wan in my mind. She does. It's not great. So I wish they had priestess training garb.
Although I have to say, speaking of Star
she
Wars,
does eventually start wearing the Illyrian leathers to
yes,
train.
she does. But speaking of Star Wars, the Cassian backstory, when he goes into his backstory and his mother, I wonder how big of a fan Sarah J. Maas is of Star Wars, because that is totally like an Anakin backstory, except
Like
Anakin,
Tatooine.
yeah. So he goes back and the Sand People have taken his mother. And so then he kills all the Sand People, including the children, and the women. That's terrible. So he goes full dark side. Cassian doesn't go full dark side, but he definitely gets revenge on all those men. Like he's like, I don't touch the women and children. And so
he let the women and children and anybody who wasn't a part
yeah,
of what happened to his mother go. But the man who sired him, basically the man who raped his mom,
yeah,
all the rest of the assholes that also pushed themselves on her and worked her to death as a slave and treated her like garbage, they were donezo.
So he has very, very Darth Vader vibes backstory, but he doesn't go
When it
as
comes
evil.
to the women he loves, yeah. Yeah, Cassian is a true feminist, and that's one of the things I love about him.
So I don't know. I just thought that was really funny. Like I didn't really catch that the first time I read it. Like but when I read it the second time, I was like, oh my God, that's like almost like Anakin's backstory, except he doesn't go to the extreme Anakin does.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't kill everybody. He just kills the people who actually, and that's why he's morally gray and not
Yes.
a dick.
Yes. Yes.
Anakin's just a dick.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
And a horrible actor. Sorry, Hayden Christensen, you're a terrible actor.
And sorry about that. Please listen
I'm
to
just
Pickle
saying, I'm
Party.
not casting him in our movies. That's all I'm saying.
He will not be in Let's Cast Our Books.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
Come at me, bro.
We've got Gwen training, but we've got Cassian pining, and so he's seeing the softer side of her. And I kind of want to get in this because they kind of have a couple saucy scenes before we dive into Emery, and it's like she's having these dreams that like naughty thoughts of Cassian, and
Yeah,
then
no, they both are.
well, yeah. But they don't. I think they dive into Nesta's more than they do like what Cassian is.
Well, they don't go into dreams. It's just like, so for instance, after she comes up from the stairs one night and Cassian's just waiting on her,
Yeah.
kind of to make fun. He just to find out how far she made it.
Yeah.
And then he says something and it pisses her off and she launches herself at him. And that's like the first time they kiss.
Yeah.
And it's super intense. And she takes care of him through his pants.
Yeah.
And then there's a huge moment of disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks I can't remember why she gets mad. Like she thinks I can't remember what it is. He's upset. He's embarrassed because
he hasn't done that. It's like a high school moment. Like, oh my God,
yes, he feels like
pants.
Jason Biggs in American Pie.
But like, she takes it personally, like he doesn't want her. Like it was just all a tease.
She takes it as like he just kind of got what he wanted and that was it. And he was mortified that he just went in his pants.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, but then there's the second interaction where he goes down on her and she wants more. She wants all of it. And
okay. If they were cooking Thanksgiving dinner, she has cleaned out the turkey, has it oiled up and ready to go, and she just needs him to put the stuffing in. And he just puts the turkey in the oven. He doesn't put any stuffing in. He just puts the turkey in the oven to cook and leaves the room.
And she's like dying. Oh, it's so comical.
So basically, then what they start doing is teasing each other.
Yes.
But it culminates into a scene that SJM even mentioned that she was writing and her father walked in the room because they were visiting and she was writing the scene and her dad walked in the room and she was so afraid he was going to be like, read to me what you're writing. And it was literally the scene. But they're having dinner one night and the ice is starting to melt tension wise. And for the first time, Nesta looks up and really sees the heavy things that Cassian is carrying on him. Because at this point, they have been asked, or Cassian has been asked by Rhys, told to be a courtesan, if you will, to be somebody who will be a diplomat for him, which is not something Cassian's ever done. That's kind of Moore's role. Rhys really thinks that Cass is ready to step up and take some responsibility in terms of being more diplomatic with others. And maybe it's him helping Cass grow. Maybe it's him just trying to be more diplomatic with Farah's pregnancy.
No, I think it's good for him. I think he needed to. I think Rhys had all great intentions with that. Because I know we talked in the last episode with the Frost and Starlight, how I said I thought he'd be a good politician. And you said, well, Rhys is really the good politician. He has the potential. So I think this is Rhys's way of saying,
maybe this is,
you can do this.
Right. Maybe this is Rhys being like, okay, listen, things with Devlin didn't go great. You saw how I handled that. And I want you to basically, you're going to be, and because you hate this person so much, you're specifically going to be working with Rhys, which is another really, dude, I screwed his fiance. I screwed his betrothed. Then he put, then her family put nails in her and it's just bad. So there's a lot of tension with him and Rhys, and Rhys is like, hey, you are going to be the ambassador to Rhys, basically.
And he's like, son of a bitch.
On top of being the general for all the Illyrian war.
And training Nesta and Gwen and soon to be another.
Yes. There's a lot going on for Cass. And on top of that, he's dealing with the fact that he has fallen madly in love with a mate that is being a ratchet bitch to him.
Well, and it's also like they found their similarities with their troubled past. Like she dives into her mom and he dives into his backstory about his mom and then training and all of that and being a bastard. And she's like, oh my God, he's been through as much trauma as I have. And it's like a trauma bond. They share that and go, like they can see the good of what they've become since then with each other.
Basically, there's a trauma bond. Really, they're already trauma bonded after what happened at Hybern. They're just, because Cassian been in so many battles and wars, for him, he knows how to handle that trauma.
Yeah.
She's like a fucking Vietnam vet coming out of Vietnam and getting absolutely none of the mental health support she needs. Well, that's not
Right.
true. She's refusing to take any of the mental health support she
Mhm.
needs. She's
Right.
being offered plenty of it. She's just refusing it.
Yes.
Our poor Vietnam vets desperately needed it and were given nothing.
Yes.
And that's coming from my husband's late uncle, who was a psychiatrist in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, we did them such a disservice when those soldiers came home.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
But that's just American fact. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so I think those are things that SJM takes though and puts in her writing are like that PTSD from war. Nesta's never done it before. Cass is an old pro and he knows how to handle it. And that's why he volunteered for this duty. That's why he said she needs to get her demons out. And the best way to do that is going to be through fighting and peace. Like there's something about that balance of physically getting it all out in the ring that morning and then going down to the quiet, peaceful calm of the library and doing kind of redundant, tedious work that soothes her.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't necessarily love what she's doing in the library. Like I said, shelving books is not fun, but it affords her a chance to quiet her mind.
It's a meditation in a way.
Yes, and it also afforded her the chance to meet Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
And Nesta actually didn't like Gwen very much at first.
No.
Gwen was kind of like that annoying puppy that won't leave you alone, and then you're like, all right, I'll touch you, and then you're like your best friend. So Nesta has, now she's got a mission, right? She wants to help these women who are traumatized, and in the midst of all this, she and Cassian have to go up to Windhaven, the Illyrian camp that she's not a fan of. And it is on one of those visits that she is up and goes into Emery's shop. She has a clothing shop up there. And she meets Emery. Emery is a beautiful Illyrian woman. Her wings have been clipped, which, as we talked about before, is just horrific, horrifying.
She still has pain from it. I mean,
and she still has horrible pain from it.
Rhys even offers like the healers to come help her with that. And she's like, no.
Because even though her dad did this horrific act, he did it himself instead of having, I guess, like somebody who does it professionally, like, I don't know, like a circumciser for wings, do it. And he fucked it up. So when they healed, they didn't heal right. And she could only stretch out her left wing like a quarter. Like she could barely stretch out her left wing, but her right wing can stretch. Like, and seeing that brings out the hate fire in Cassian like none other.
Oh, yeah.
Like after he sees that and he asks her who clipped your wings and she says, my dad did it himself. He says, I should have killed your dad long before Hybern.
Right.
Like, and there is something that really gets to me about the clipping of the wings. And maybe it's because I'm a Palestinian woman and I know about the horrific things that do happen in the more conservative Middle Eastern cultures to women.
Yeah.
In this way, Cassian reminds me of my dad, because the minute my mother had two daughters, my dad was like, there's no way in hell I'm raising them in the Middle East. My dad was always way too much of a feminist and left wing for the Middle East. He needed to be in America.
Yeah.
It's so funny, actually. He really was the black sheep of his family, his conservative Muslim family. And then there's my dad, who's just like, why are we praying 5 times a day? Like, so when I hear and see these moments in Cassian, it like fills my heart with love for his character and just how much he cares about women as a whole, and just the horror on his face for Emery's wings. It really, that got to me this time, and it didn't get to me the last time, but listening to it this time, it really, like, it brought tears to my eyes. Because I just thought,
and
oh
the
my
shitty
God.
thing, she still has to deal with her uncles are constantly badgering her to sell the shop to them, and she just needs to, they would kill her.
Because they don't think a woman should own a business. It's so gross. It's awful. It's awful. And she's like, fuck that. No, I don't have any brothers. My father is dead. This is all I have. And guys, here's the thing. Emery doesn't want to get married because guess what? Emery's a lesbian. I don't think she doesn't mention it at this point. She and Nesta have just become friends.
Yeah.
But Nesta offers, hey, come down to train with us. What's it going to hurt? It'll protect you from assholes like Bilibus, who is her cousin.
Yeah.
She's like, it's going to protect you from these assholes from coming in and getting belligerent with you and telling you to sell the shop and getting violent. Like,
Yeah.
come train. And at first, just like Gwen, she's like, no, that's not for me. But
And she'd
then
even,
Nesta,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you go.
I was just saying, and she even offers like, hey, we'll help you with your shop. Like Rhys will come get you and winnow you there, and like you're not gonna
Yeah.
have to do anything.
Like, yeah, because she's like, I can't fly down there. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, Rhys will come get you. It's
Yeah.
fine. Um, and Cass does the same thing. She ends up sending Cass up there with some herbs and spices and stuff that Emery was saying she doesn't have really at her disposal anymore. And some tea, like nice tea bags and stuff.
I
Like
love
she
this.
almost bribes her.
Well, and I love the part too. Like, I did not realize this because I didn't catch it the first time I read it. So she talks about her dad always bringing spices, that it was like different taste of the world that he would pretty much bring back with him. And she never really cared about it at the time. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
dad just brought this. Where
But Farah
Farah
loved it.
loved
Yes. I
it.
caught
And
that this
she
time too.
always wanted her to like be involved and like always wanted her to like understand the tasting and everything, which is really funny that she pops open a can of soup for Rhys and doesn't actually cook him something really good. So I mean,
I
she should
know.
know how to use
So
spices.
basically, we find out that Farah has always been a little bit of a foodie.
Yeah.
But more than that, I think Farah just understood and appreciated other cultures and was always
Yes.
the more open minded of them.
Hmm.
And that's probably why she so easily flowed into becoming Fae. And I think it's something that, well, and it is something that Nesta says, I should have listened more. I should have been more open minded. I should have been, because she was right.
Yeah. I love that part. And but we
Yes,
did
I like that too.
we skipped a part though, because she was still being a ratchet bitch before then. And I think this is when she started to turn of like, Farah's looking out for me because she loves me. Where Farah pulls Nesta in and they have big news. And Rhys has had these like shields up, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Why are you protecting Farah so much? We don't understand this. You're in a grumpy ass mood too. I don't know.
Well, they've
Like,
got big news, period,
yes,
because Az is back with
yes,
news of what is happening in terms of Brie Allen and Kosov and the that's when they bring up the dead trove. They
yes.
sit down and he's like, so they're looking for the dead trove, which guys, if you're Harry Potter people, kind of like the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of being a wand, a stone, and a cape, it is a mask, a harp, and a crown. And
And
turns out,
a horn. There is a horn.
yeah, the horn in Bryce's back is.
Yep.
Turns out there's actually 4 deadly trove items, but this world only knows about 3.
Yes.
And that is the harp, the mask, and the crown. And they all have very, very intensely important powers. And they were all made by the cauldron.
Yes.
They all do different things. But if one possesses all 3 of these things, they're basically virtually unstoppable. There's nothing
Yes.
that will stop them.
Which, guys, keep that in mind 2 episodes down.
Yes, this is important to know. And always remember, and you know what? Since hearing these words, I live by it. And it's honestly been really big in my help, my healing in like my fractured relationships and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like calls to like
Mm-hmm.
has hit me on so many different levels. And every time I think about the way previous situations have gone down and maybe certain loyalties were not held, I
Mm-hmm.
just think, well, like calls to like, that should kind of explain that.
Yeah, no, truth.
And I just like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but like calls to like, I feel the deep meaning for me.
It is.
If you're a good person, if you put out good vibes, if you're a caring friend, I think this is the type of people you'll attract.
Yeah.
And
Same thing with karma. If you do good things happen to you. If you do shitty things, well, shitty things probably gonna happen to you. Look at Tamlin.
yes, hey, listen, the last couple, because we brought this up not long ago, the last couple nights, we have been falling asleep watching the reboot of King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And that automatically leeways into My Name is Earl. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been waking up at like 2 a.m. to My Name is Earl, and it's been awesome. I forget how good that show is, man.
It is a good show. All right, so Emery, we've got as we were talking about Emery, we've got as bringing in information about those. We've got Feyre and Rhys with big news. Where are we going from there?
So one of the things that they bring up that they need to do they have to find these deadly trove items,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to find them before Briallen does.
Mm-hmm.
If Briallen finds these things and is working with this death god, he has the potential to be free. And if he gets these things in his hands,
All hell's gonna break loose.
all hell's going to break loose. He is a death god. So they know that getting their hands on the deadly trove before these people is important.
Yeah.
Well, one of the only ways to do that is through scurrying, which was something that you do with, was it stones and bones?
Mm-hmm.
So certain types of rocks, quartz type rocks, and bones. And it is a way to kind of meditate and find objects. And Nesta has tried it and she has been successful, but the last time she was successful with it was when the cauldron kidnapped Elaine.
Yeah.
And so she's very scared to do it again because she doesn't want to invite that cauldron back into, she's not exactly sure what she took from the cauldron, and
Yeah.
she doesn't want to invite it back in to find out.
Very true. Yeah.
So she does not want to scurry. And when they call her in to tell her this, and they say, so we need you to start using the stones and bones again to find out where the deadly trove is, she gets mad and she's like, well, who's going to do it? And Elaine walks in and says, I'm going to do it. And she says, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And Elaine's like,
That's because the
I
cauldron wants Elaine, though, and that's what she's terrified of.
Yes, the cauldron likes Elaine. So Elaine's like, the cauldron will listen to me. And she straight in front of everybody looks at Feyre and is like, why can't you do it? Which automatically shows her favoritism for Elaine.
Yeah.
And immediately hurts Feyre's feelings,
Mm-hmm.
and pisses off Rhys all in one foul swoop. Well, guess what? This is when Feyre says, I can't. And she says, well, why can't you? And Feyre kind of looks at Rhys, and Rhys is like, yeah, I guess it's time. And Feyre says, I can't risk it. And she says, what can't you risk? And Feyre says, hurting the baby. And that's when they realize that Feyre, at the ripe old age of 21, is pregnant.
And this is why Rhys has been grumpy, and this is why Rhys has had shields up.
This is why neither Az nor Cass has been able to smell or even hug Feyre for the last 2 months.
Yeah. Because she's what? 2 months? She's 2 months pregnant at this point.
She is 2 months along at this point. And this made me laugh. They're like, for the 10 months of pregnancy. Okay, guys, I know that they tell you that human women only carry babies for 9 months, but that is a big fat fucking lie. It is 10 months. You are pregnant for 40 weeks. Let's divide 40 by 4, shall we? There are 4 weeks in a month. Let's do that math together. Hey, little man Tate, on the other hand of this call here, why don't you do that math for me? How many months is that? How many months
10.
is that, Leslie?
10.
That is 10 months. So I think we should stop saying women are pregnant for 9 months. They're fucking pregnant for 10, and it drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that has been my soapbox rant.
My first one was 10 months. He didn't. Yeah, we had to evacuate him. So
they do that. The first ones get comfy, man, and you cannot get them out. If we didn't do a cesarean with Gunnar, he'd have been the same way.
Second and third, they did their own thing. They were like, especially the last one. She was like, "I'm coming early. Bye." I'm like,
of course she did.
Thank God.
Listen. Pregnancy is for the birds. Do you hear me?
That last one was, I could not eat anything. It was terrible. So props to all the mamas out there. We just got past Mother's Day, and I know this is going to be later on that this comes out. But pregnancy sucks.
Yeah, it does. We see you. We see.
But
so with the announcement of the pregnancy, of course, comes elation. Lane already knew because she walked in on Feyre getting sick 2 mornings in a row, but she was the only one who knew. Nobody else knew. And to say they're excited that's just an understatement. They are thrilled. Cass and Az are immediately like, we're going to be funkles. This is going to be awesome. Yeah. I can't wait. And Elaine looks at Nesta and is like, we're going to be aunts. And Nesta's like, yeah, all right.
And the sad part is Feyre doesn't tell Elaine it's going to be a boy. She saves that for Nesta. She wants to specifically tell her. And Nesta
acts a little pissy because she finds out Elaine knew before she did.
Yes. So she's pissy about that. But then like Feyre's like, but you're the only one that I wanted to tell you before anybody else that it's going to be a boy. Like the bone carver showed me a picture of our son. And so I knew this was going to be a boy.
Yeah, I'm pregnant with a boy.
Well, it didn't show me a picture, but it came in the form of our son.
Yeah.
Um, and so, but Nesta's so just bitter, ratchet bitch. So this is where like you keep going back and forth on her because you're like, oh, she's doing
Yes.
really
No,
good. She's training. She's
exactly.
making
That is
friends.
exactly what I'm talking about. Like, and I don't know why she's I was literally cleaning the house yesterday when I was listening to this part,
Mhm.
and I was getting so mad. I was like throwing the boys' toys into the like toy bin because Farrah's like, listen, I wanted you to know before anybody else that it's a boy. And like right after she tells Farrah hears all the guys cheering down the hall, and she's like, well, apparently Cass and Az know now. But she was like, I wanted you to know first, it's gonna be a boy. And Nesta, I can't even remember exactly what she says, but she's like, oh, you didn't tell Elaine first?
Yeah, just ratchet
And she was
bitch.
like, yeah, and she just like, oh my God, Nesta, no, because Elaine found out about this first. I wanted you to be the first to know about this. And Nesta's like, why? And she was like, I'm just trying to be sweet with you. That's all. Like, she's genuinely trying to have a nice moment. And she looks at her and says, Nesta, you're my sister. I'm just trying to have a moment.
Eh,
And, you know, Nesta feels guilty. She feels bad, but she won't let that show. Like, her inner dialogue is being like, yeah, you're being a fucking bitch. You are so excited about this baby. Why are you being like this? Like,
yeah.
it's this weird inner battle.
Yes.
And it turns out it's just her pride is a big giant cover up for how freaking terrified she is of losing anybody else.
So fun note though, we're gonna take a pause there because we talked about in Frost and Starlight that there's an extra chapter of Ass. Well, come to find out there's two extra chapters in Silver Flames. There's one in a Barnes and Noble book. There's one in a Books a Million book. The Books a Million book has the As chapter. The Barnes and Noble book has the Fasan chapter or Faysand.
Interesting.
So the Faysand chapter is right after this. That's Feyre and Rhysand. Feyre finishes up doing like a class in the art studio. And she held the students go home and Rhys and her hook up. And so in the art studio, because why not? And then they start talking about the Nesta thing of like, I don't understand why she was so upset. And then she goes, well, Cassian has been saying you're really grumpy. Well, it's kind of like a foreshadow of what's going to come. Because it's like, once you've read the whole thing, you guys are going to know what we're talking about of like,
The complications with her
Rhys
pregnancy.
knows something at that point and isn't telling her.
So
And
he already knows at that point because they make it
he,
sound like later in the book is when you find out. Because right.
no, I think he knows before then because he's grumpy at them already. That's just my
Interesting.
theory. This is my theory, just by reading that extra
Right.
chapter. And then that's when they go into talking about the name, and Rhys decides on Nyx, and that's what he wants the name. And she like says it a few times, and then she's like, okay, that's it. So that's the extra chapter. I'll send that to you, by the way.
Please do. I'm curious. I want to read. Interesting. Ha ha ha. Maybe because in the book without that chapter, it
Mhm.
makes it sound like she's closer to halfway through her pregnancy when they find out about the complication that will kill her.
And
It's not a could, it's will.
when that chapter happens, maybe it is like, like a month or two down the road, and he knows later on.
Hmm.
I it doesn't really specify. It's after she has told Nesta about the sex of the baby, and it's after she's had a class with her people or her kids at the painting
Had
studio.
a therapy session, yeah.
Yeah,
And well, I love that they include that too, that she's still doing the
yeah.
therapy painting and stuff. Like that's awesome. I love that. Yeah. Oh, I need to read that then.
But we're going to walk it back a little bit because we've gone through all of that. And Emery, I feel like, is the very end of this. Like, you really don't get into her. And this is like chapter
She
28.
joins up right at the end of these
Yeah.
chapters. She joins right towards the end of the chapters.
But we skipped the
Emery,
dining room scene.
so well, no, we did start talking about it. Well, so as I guess we've got to go back to when we were talking about all the responsibilities and the stress Cass has on his
Mhm.
shoulders.
Yes.
And she can sense it at dinner one night. He's just so tense. He's so stressed and he's really in his head. And she wants to do something to relieve his tension. And so she basically kind of goes over to him, starts kissing on him a little bit, and starts getting on her knees. And he kind of stops her, like, "What are you doing?" And she like begs him. Now, okay, I have thoughts on
You have
like,
thoughts.
and this. If we didn't know that Sarah J. Maas was a woman, this is where I'd be like, okay, this is definitely a guy, because there's not a lot of girls who get on their knees and they're like, "Please let me give you a blowjob." They don't call it a job for nothing, honey. It's not my favorite thing to do. I know a lot of girls, it's not their favorite thing to do. They'll do it for their, partner because they love them. But in this moment, Nesta really wants to relieve his tension, and she like begs him to let her
Well, I
pleasure
think
him.
it's just so pent up. I think that's what it is. Because I mean, like when you've got that sexual attention and it is so pent up,
Listen, I
I
get
don't
it.
know.
It's just, I don't know. There was something.
I can see it. I can see it. But but Cassian's such a gentleman and they aren't dating and they aren't together and they're just like, I know he knows that she's his mate, but I mean, he's so nervous about like the fine line that she's on of like, is it going to hurt her
He really does.
progress?
He really wants her to focus on her, and he really doesn't want to screw up
He's a
any of the leeway he
gentleman. And
has made
so,
with her. He doesn't want to mess that up because he has made some leeway with her. And my good God, is she like a skittish cat? Like any
yes.
wrong mood, and she's going to run away, and get back into the dumpster, and he's going to have to dig her back out.
Yeah.
And so he very gently says, "Yes, you may."
Mm-hmm.
And she proceeds to give him apparently a world-class BJ.
Yeah.
And right when they're about to like have sex, Az is like standing outside the hall, like as loudly as he can, like making all this noise, coming into the room.
I love his interaction with Cassian afterwards of like in the fucking dining hall.
Like Nesta leaves the room and Az just looks at Cass and he's like, "Bro, we eat here." Well, and then Rhys later on, so they haven't even had sex yet. And later
Yeah.
on, Rhys shows up. It's when he brings Emery, when he
Yeah.
starts bringing Emery to the trainings at the end of these chapters. And he even looks at Cass before he leaves and he's like, "Look, I don't know what you two are doing around here, but the house reeks of sex." And they haven't even had sex yet.
Yeah.
They're just like fooling around all around the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they were about to, but Cass very clearly made it clear that he was about to come in.
Yeah.
And that put a kibosh on that.
Yeah. It's a good moment. I love
It
that
is.
scene.
It's a pretty classic moment.
It's a very Joey Chandler moment in my feelings about that.
Yeah. I could see that.
Need help running your business? Sometimes We Get You Media is your AI guru hub for everything. Design, content, marketing, brand strategy, meeting transcriptions, file organization, social media, you name it, AI can help. Stop juggling a dozen tasks. Streamline your entire operations in one place. Visit www.sometimeswegetyou.com. That's www.sometimeswegetyou.com. Or email info@sometimeswegetyou.com. Sometimes We Get You Media, AI-powered solutions for modern businesses.
So then we have Emery. We're going to go back. Rhys winners her in to train. And Nesta is so overly joyed by
She's so excited.
she's got her two girls and the most unlikely people you think that would all become friends. But
Well,
you love it.
Yeah.
And you're
Gwen and
there for
Emery
it.
are totally like, "Hey, you like books? I like books. Oh my God, did we just become best friends?" And they like, the three of them kind of form a little clique right there. And they're all bonding over books that they like to read. Turns out Emery and Nesta love it smutty, and Gwen's pretty sweet and innocent. So they're like, "We're going to start you gentle, sweetie."
Like, she's like,
they're
"I
like,
like
instead of
self-help," and they're
going
like,
ACOTAR, we're going to give you wallflowers, and then we'll work our way in from there. Yes. That's basically how they approached that. They gave her Lisa Clay pass to get her to the SJM.
Yes.
to eventually get to the Lauren Beals and the CM Nasta Costas.
Or the JT Gessinger. Oh my God. Jules, you got to
So
read them. The Ruthless Creatures and their Carnal Urges. I did Carnal Urges this past weekend. Oh my, I read it in a day. It was so good. I couldn't stop listening.
get in line. Do you understand what my Audible looks like right now? I gave you my list the other day. I have 5 books and I've started 4 of the 5.
Welcome to ADHD reading.
Yeah, this is your fault. I used to have OCD reading and now I have ADHD reading. This
Okay,
is all your fault.
I've done this to Amy too, because the other day she had texted me. She's like, "Oh my God, I got 3 books going." I'm like, "Yeah."
I mean, I have started Onyx Storm. I have started the third Crescent City book. I have started Silver Flame, obviously. I literally stopped on chapter 29 so I could keep up with what, not get confused. And then I started Morning Glory Milking Farm the other day. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then I've got Daisy Chain Flower Shop waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
So I got them. I got them lined up. And I really want to try the ones that Louisa suggested. The Zodiac.
Yeah, okay. I want you to retry them and you tell me. Because I know I need to dive into them, but I can't do the graphic audio. It's too overstimulating, but I think that's just graphic audio in me. Even Crescent City is almost overstimulating with the graphic audio.
I see, and I don't do graphic audio. I just do the narrator. I don't like the narrator. I don't know. I don't mind when there's like a male and a female narrating and going back and forth.
Yeah.
But when they've got multiple actors and sounds and all this descriptive stuff going on in the background, I don't think I would like that. I kind of like to help build the image myself. And
no, I agree.
The less of that mess I have, the more I can work on my own memory.
Yeah.
Imagination, I guess. So I get it. I see what you mean. I never download. I always buy the just regular Audibles. I never do the graphic ones. And see, and I know people, specifically my friend Alana, she has a hard time. She has a disorder. She cannot build pictures in her mind properly. So she needs the graphic. In order to do an Audible, she has to have the graphic descriptors.
Okay.
That's the only way she can do an Audible.
I think it's just too many bing bang booms going on, and it's
But if you think about it, if you don't have that happening in your mind, if your mind's not building that picture automatically, then you're not at all overstimulated. You're just like, oh, okay. Like that makes sense. Now I can see why she does those. But yeah, I get it. It makes sense. So yes, we do. I do need to try those. I do. I want to try those. Especially when she told me how campy they are, because I do love some good camp. So
Squirrel, thanks for scrolling with us.
Yeah, guys. Totally squirreled.
We just went on to like a whole book train. And if you ADHD read, let me know, because apparently
how many books are you guys reading? Because apparently Leslie and I are not.
I cause people to read multiple books.
No. Okay, so now you've kind of got Emery involved. And during this time, as Nesta has gotten to know Gwen has explained to her what Meryl, her supervisor, is working on. And in the past, Meryl had an obsession with parallel universes. And, that was kind of discussed earlier. Les and I talked about it. And that is a crossover into Crescent City. We'll talk about those books next season. And we'll definitely go into this part more. But she's kind of vaguely mentioned right here in this section of the book. It's just literally like this is what she used to work on. And you don't think much about it until you start reading the other series and you see all these crossovers. But she says, what is she working on now? And she says, well, now she's doing a comprehensive study on the Valkyries. And Nesta says, what's a Valkyrie? And she says, actually, it was this elite all women group of fighters. And I didn't catch this when I read it the first time. For some reason, I guess I thought it was all Illyrian women, but it's not. It's like the best of whatever you are. It is made up of strong fays, strong humans, strong Illyrian women. It is made up of all types of sprites. Just like if you are a tough fighter and you are the toughest of the tough of a women fighter, you're a Valkyrie.
You know who would have been in that? Lahaba.
Yeah, she would have. Yeah, she would have. We love you, Lily. Again, guys, Lahaba, that's a Crescent City. We'll get into her. We'll get into that amazing little fire sprite. Anyways, when they bring in Emery and you start to see these women start to train and fight together, you start to see the emergence of this group of women fighting together. And it kind of gives you that foreshadowing into what's to come,
Mm-hmm.
which is really, really awesome. And yeah, I'm sure Les and I have mentioned before in other episodes that we want to be a Valkyrie. We want to, go down fighting. We want that type of an attitude. And that's definitely something we're going to go into more in the rest of this book. But that is a setup for that.
And we're winding down. We're seeing Nesta's softer side come out. And
We're seeing Nesta grow, begin to slowly make those
Mhm.
steps. It's like she just joined AA and she has finally admitted she has a problem. And we're starting to see the very slow growth in this healing arc. I mean, the whole book is a healing arc with the romance piled on top,
Mhm.
but this is when we really start to see Nesta want to grow and heal. Instead of being forced into it, we see her start to fall into it and
She has purpose
enjoy it.
again.
Yes, yes. Having that purpose with the priestesses really gives her something.
Mhm.
And I like that. I think that's so relatable. There are so many women out there who have been victims of SA, sexual assault, for those of you who don't know what that means. There are so many women who have been victims of it, and they have joined support groups and they do volunteer activities where they're called in the middle of the night. If a woman shows up at the hospital claiming she's been sexually assaulted, these women go and they just sit and they help advocate.
Mhm.
And they really are a hand to hold, because for so many women being sexually assaulted, somebody don't want to, they're ashamed of it, they don't want to talk about it,
Yeah.
they for some reason feel like it's their fault,
Mhm.
or society has led them to believe it's their fault. And in order to heal from that horrible, horrible, horrible violation, they fall into helping others who have dealt with it. And this is what we see with Nesta. And it's really lovely, actually, the way Sarah J. Maas helps her grow through that. And I kind of wonder, because I know she said she did a lot of Nesta's healing through her own. And I kind of wonder, like, hey, did you join some sort of a support group when you were having a hard time, after pregnancy or whatever?
Mhm.
Like, did you find this type of relief in therapy?
Yeah.
She's so transparent about that kind of stuff. I'm sure it's out there if we look it up, honestly.
Yeah, probably. All right, we're going to dive into hot pickle, cold take. The inner circle is kind of controlling, and we're allowed to say that.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. So they're not wrong. Nesta needs help,
Yeah.
and they are a family, and they are desperate. And then they've just given her. They don't say you're going to the House of Wind. No, no choice. They say these are your options: House of Wind, training, working on yourself, or go on your way.
Or go back to the human world,
Go back to right. Go on your way, but way back to the human world.
which terrifies her even more.
Right, but you're not staying here.
Yeah.
You're not staying in this place that you're staying. Which is truly what you're supposed to do with an intervention.
Yes.
This
And
is
they
this is
sound
truly
terrible
they
and
they
pushy, but it's for her own good.
those boundaries are for her own good, and those
Yeah.
hard boundaries are set for that reason. So, I mean, yeah, you can call them controlling. I think they're just loving.
Exactly. No, I really I feel like they want the best for her and they want to give her the best shot that she can have. And those putting her into two options and her making the decision of that is what's going to do it.
Yeah,
Now, if they had
because
just
they
said
gave her a choice.
yes, now if
They gave
they
her a
had
choice.
said,
They
no,
didn't
you're
take
just
away
going
her
to
autonomy.
train,
Yeah,
then it would have been controlling.
right. Yeah, they didn't take away her autonomy. They did not imprison her in the House of Wind. They said, this is your option. We've
Mhm.
gotten rid of your slum apartment. That's not an option anymore. You go to the human world and make it on your own, or you do this
Right.
option B. Either or, but you're not living on our dime anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically, if she goes to option B, she is still living on their dime. She's just not got money in her bank account. But
Right.
she doesn't need it at this
Mhm.
point. Like, she's never leaving the house. She's got food. She's got books. Anything she might really want, she has to go get her. I mean, it's not.
Or the house.
Or the house. I mean, yeah, it's not really, she's not a prisoner. She was
Yeah.
given her options. Her autonomy was never taken away from her.
No.
So I don't see them as controlling.
All right. Feyre is
Tamlin,
not
controlling.
yeah, Tamlin is controlling. And he's learning from his mistakes. Like I'm telling you, if he would bring a basket of baked goods to the other courts, I'm sure he'd probably have friends again.
Everybody loves a mini muffin. If it got Ross his apartment, it can get anybody anything. Well, granted, Ross ate those muffins naked. That's why he got the apartment. But and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, then we are not your people because you do not watch Friends. But yeah, if he would have just sent them a basket of mini muffins, everything would have been fine.
Right? Feyre is not innocent in the Nesta dynamic. Yay or nay?
I feel like you need to elaborate on that. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, she's managing her own guilt, and so they both have guilt of how they were raised. Maybe Feyre should have said no more, in a way. Like she kind of gave Nesta this learned helplessness. Even in the first book, when she's like, I didn't want to cut that wood because you do it so much better. Like, Feyre should have said no. Be fucking cold. Like,
I mean, right. No, I get that.
I
Then
mean,
Feyre would have had to suffer.
or maybe she just
So,
she would cook her own meal. Like she should have gone off and like out in the backyard or something and cooked her own damn meal and been like, oh, you didn't get to eat. Kind of like Pig Will and Pig Won't. Have you ever read that book?
no. No, that does not sound like one is in my Audible.
It's a Richard Scarry book. It's a kid's book. It's called Pig Will and Pig Won't. And Pig Will helps plant the corn and water the corn and sow the corn and
Oh wait, is this kind of like was it Dilbert and Doofus from the highlight book?
I don't remember that, but
There's like one boy who does everything right and one
yeah,
boy who does not.
yeah. And so Pig won't, he won't help do anything. So when the corn's ready, Pig Will goes, mm-mm. You didn't help plant the corn. You didn't help water the corn. You didn't help pull the corn. You didn't help cook the corn. You don't get to eat the corn. And Pig Will's all sad, or Pig Won't's all sad. So
So you think that Feyre is Pig Will and Nesta is Pig Won't, and Feyre needs to go Pig Will on Pig Won't?
yes.
Heard. Yes. Okay. So listen, I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this. I think Feyre may not be 100% innocent in the Nesta dynamic, but it is like, if we're going to give it percentages, I mean, that is like a 75-25 situation.
And I can
Like,
agree with that.
Because
Yes.
Feyre, there are so many times when Nesta's just being awful and saying horrible things, and Feyre just keeps her cool and it's just like, we're just asking you to come. Like, Feyre doesn't snap back. She doesn't yell. She doesn't give Nesta what she wants.
Right.
And she keeps it very cool and very calm and says, you want your money, come to Solstice. Like, because when Nesta demanded the money, Feyre should have turned around and been like, fuck you, I'm not paying for anything anymore. Instead, she just says, you want your money, come to Solstice. I think Feyre could be much more complicit in their dynamic than she is, but it truly is like, fuck it. She's like 80% Nesta and her guilt.
Yeah.
And 20% Feyre.
And I agree with that. Like Nesta has made their sisterhood very complicated, even in childhood. Like even talking about the spices, like Feyre wanted her to come, learn about them and see what the dad brought back.
And all she cared about is like, who is your newest partner's son? And, what kind of an advantageous marriage could he be for me or Elaine?
Right. So I don't say that, Nesta's not at fault because she definitely is most of the person at fault for their relationship that they have. But I think Feyre should have put up more boundaries than she has. She's let her she keeps doing stuff.
Yeah, Feyre doesn't understand what boundaries are. Feyre's a little bit almost kind of like a Katniss Everdeen, but not because Katniss has huge boundaries with her own mother.
Yeah.
But is a puppy with her sister.
Yeah.
I mean with Primrose. So it's interesting. Feyre definitely there's a lot of complexity in this relationship.
It is.
And I'm
excited
to see. Yes. And that's what I'm excited to see is what happens in the next chapters. Because trying not to get ahead to the end of this book, the way the book ends, it ends on a high note for all three of them.
Yes.
So I'm curious to see, and it almost makes it sound like baby Nyx is the healing part.
Yeah.
That kind of brings at least Nesta and Feyre together.
Well, that tie in even the third Crescent City book.
And that, yeah, no, and then they mention it in that book, how attached Nesta is to Nick.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they really, and I feel like at the end of this book, they mention how the whole, like, all of the family is just like, it's Nick's and everybody's just living it. It's Nick's world and they're all just there. Like,
Yeah.
they're all just completely enamored with this baby and he is
Yeah.
just going to be spoiled rotten. Which is the way kind of it goes when you're in a group of friends and you're the first to have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of happens. He's like the chosen one. Like everybody like kind of looks up to that kid and I'll kind of have a special place in their heart for him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's Nick's definitely
Mm-hmm.
with this family. But I'm definitely curious to see how that relationship is carried on into the next couple books, especially with what we hope is going to be Elaine's story.
Yes. Which
So
I got to
we'll
get
see.
you that chapter from the Books a Million book, the As chapter.
Yes, I want to read that. So, okay, so then hot take 3. The House of Wind is the best character in these first 28 chapters.
Yes.
Not Cassian, not
Yes.
Gwen, the house.
Yes. I love the house.
I mean, look, it understood Nesta
Mm-hmm.
right away. And it knew how to work Nesta, man. Like Nesta, I want wine. And it just kept giving her water.
Yeah.
I want wine. Kept giving her water. And the books and like the way she conversates with the house. And Nesta picked up that one book that was left in her room and she's looking through it and she's like, I don't want this, take it back. And the house won't take it back. And then she realizes the house didn't actually leave it for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, oh, you didn't leave this for me, did you? And the house responds by dropping like 3 naughty books on her. Like, no, this is what I would have read.
Yeah.
There is an actual relationship between Nesta and the house, and it gets her like, it understands every time it turns on it, she says it's cold or it senses she's cold, it'll turn on a fire. And the minute she yells, no fire, it'll stop.
Yeah.
And just warm her sheets and turn up the air in the room instead. It's very in touch with Nesta and how she feels. And that's,
yeah,
ladies, I think that's all we all want in life is a
Yes.
house that is in touch with our inner mood.
That would be nice.
Right? Like, I would love to be able to be like, house, I started my period. Please give me a plate with a large piece of chocolate cake on it.
Yeah.
And it would just appear
That would be nice.
with a bubble bath like it did for Nesta.
All right, Brine Babes, we want to hear from you before part 2. Team, the intervention was necessary or Team Nesta's autonomy was violated?
Is Nesta insufferable or is she the most honest character SJM has ever written?
House of Wind, MVP moment from part 1. Drop it in our DMs.
Gwen, Nesta, or Emery, who's your girl and why? DM us at Pickle Party Pod.
Or email us at picklepartypod@gmail.com.
Just talk to us, guys. We want to hear from you.
We love
when
it.
you guys talk to us.
Yes, like
Talk
I
to us.
love it. And I will answer you back in the comments in no time because I get so excited that you guys are talking to us.
So depending on which platform it is, you're getting one of us. If it's TikTok, it's me, and I apologize.
I am not a TikTok. I'm an Insta
But if
girl.
if it's Insta or Facebook, if it's Insta, it's Leslie. If it's Facebook, it's both of us.
Yeah.
So you just never know what you could be getting. But either way, you can find us at Pickle Party Pod, guys. So hit us up. We love to hear from you.
And next time we will be diving into a new series called Jules and Leslie Try a New Trope. Jules, let us know what it's about.
Okay, guys. So I've mentioned this when we were talking to Grief Cat. Leslie and I, we love our steamy books, and we have a low judgment zone. We have a low judgment zone here on Pickle Party Pod. And we decided to explore some of the odder tropes that are out there. And we are taking a dive into our first one where we call it Leslie and Jules Try a New Trope. And the first one is called Frisky the Snowman. So join us next time while we dive into the weirdest book we have read so far.
And he doesn't have a top hat. We'll just say that.
No, a beanie. We'll go into all that next time.
So until next time, stay brined.
And remember, sometimes the most unlikable characters are the ones showing you the most truth. sit with that. It's uncomfortable. That's the point.